Hello there, this is Battleborn again. In today's video, I'm going to talk about the narcissist's pathological need to be seen and to appear as good. Because when it all boils down to what the narcissist is thinking about, it is how they appear, not necessarily with their looks, but how they appear to others, what people think about them. And that in itself doesn't sound especially strange. Most people think about what other people think about them, even though I think people should think way less about that. I think they should think way more about what God thinks about them than what people thinks about them. Because you see, you're not supposed to please people. That's not why we are here. So it doesn't matter if the whole world loves you, but if you cannot look yourself in the mirror and be true to yourself and know that you have been true to yourself, that you have been honest with God, then nothing matters really. So the narcissist's pathological need to be looked and to appear as good, it is the strange nature of doing anything to appear good. They can sacrifice their own children just because they have a need, and that is to appear good. And how does the narcissist do this? Well, the narcissist thinks that if they can be the star in the room or in the family, and they can shine the brightest, that's their goal. But you see, it's not only that is going on, because the narcissist cannot allow anyone else to shine. So what they do is they suck the light out of every other star, so to speak, in that room, human being. The way they do this is, or go about doing this, is to, of course, scapegoating. That is mainly why they do it, because if they can have a person in the family that looks horrible and that they can get sympathy from, that they actually have to deal with this person that is so horrible, but reality is that they are not horrible, but the narcissist makes them out to be horrible people. So they get sympathy, but at the same time, it makes the narcissist looks better. Narcissists are like the kind of people that think that they become lighter if other people become darker. The narcissist doesn't realize that they are just actually the same person no matter what other people around them are. But the narcissist makes the grave mistake of destroying other people to appear good. So they have a pathological need to appear good, not to be good, because that's a totally different thing. That in itself is also pathological if you have that need to be good all the time. But when we only talk about appearing, it doesn't matter what they really do. It doesn't matter what the truth is. It doesn't matter what really happens around the narcissist. How they get to be looked good upon. Doesn't matter. The road, so to speak, doesn't matter. It's only the destination. So to get to that point, like I said, they might sacrifice their own children through scapegoating. And that's why you always see in relationships with narcissists as well, that they have to be better than other people. They have to feel better than other people. But the truth is, they don't feel better than other people at any time. They don't. They always feel miserable. But the only way they can alleviate this misery is to make people around them feel bad. So anyone that gets into contact with these people on a close basis, they will feel like they are the worst person in the world. The narcissist makes them out to feel this. And the goal for the narcissist by doing this is so that they can feel better, that they know that they feel better right now in this second. So if you have been a spouse of a narcissist, this is why they do it. And they would have done the same thing to anyone that was in that position. The narcissist has this perverted mind that they think that if they can, slash the tires of every other person's car, and their car has perfect and fine tires, complete tires, then they have a better car. That's how they think. So it doesn't enter their mind that the reason they have a better car, or it appears that they have a better car, is that they slash the tires of everyone else's car. That doesn't really enter their mind. It's all about the end game. It's all about appearing to look good. It's a very sick way they think about this, because normal people would think that, if they really got this need that, well, I want people to think I'm a good person. Well, then you go out and you do good deeds, if that is important to you. If that is an important thing to you. But the narcissist doesn't think that way. The narcissist wants shortcuts and quick fixes. So the best way for the narcissist, since they are pathological, they believe that the best way for them to secure that they look good is to make other people look bad. So for instance, if you have been you have some friends and one of these are narcissistic, the way they will make themselves feel like the best or the most important person in that group of friends is to make someone else in the group look terrible. So they will tell some terrible lies about one person, or start some gossip, slandering, all these things, so that the other people will dislike that person and they will somehow look better. That's how they think. Because they're not honest in their communication. Everything goes behind everybody else's back, even in families. And one of the sickest things with narcissists when it gets to families and scapegoating in families is that they act towards the scapegoat as nothing has ever happened, that they are not really doing what they're doing. In 1 second, they can be on the phone with all the family members. In one day, they can sit and they can talk to all the family members in one day that they don't get to talk to on a daily basis. And they can sit there and they can talk all kinds of shit and lies about this kid, which is the scapegoat. And they can tell outrageous stories, even when the scapegoat is listening. And remember that the scapegoat might be 6, 7, 8 years old. Nobody's gonna listen to what that kid has to say in that position. So the scapegoat notices that the narcissist is telling a lot of bad things about them, but they don't understand why. So they start to think that they are really bad people, the scapegoat. But when the narcissist hangs up the phone, everything is back to normal. Then all of a sudden, they have created this, basically this strain of lies that is now just being communicated throughout the family, and they know that they have done what they need to do so to get sympathy because they have such a bad kid. That's one of the things. But of course, the other things they accomplish is that the kid is now looking really bad and the narcissist looks really good because they are taking care of somebody that is really, really bad. But like I said, when the narcissist hangs up the phone, everything is like it's supposed to be normal. And this is what the narcissist also expects. They expect that the scapegoat, well, you heard it, but you can't do anything about it. So you can't really talk back. They don't expect you to do. And if you do, and you have to do, it will be a fight. It will be a war. And what ends up usually happening then is that the narcissist uses that situation as well to further prove that her child is bad. So when the child reacts to the false accusations and the lies that is told about them, the narcissist uses that reaction as well for proof that they are right. So nothing the scapegoated child can do will ever get them anywhere. It's like they're living in this straitjacket. Doesn't matter if they say yes to something, that will be used against them. If they say no to something, that will be used against them. Nothing is ever good enough for the narcissist because they have decided that you cannot be good enough. So they have a pathological need, and that's important to remember when we're dealing with them, a pathological need to be seen and appear as good. And this need trumps everything. Nothing gets in the way. Nothing gets in the way. And I'm talking like, deaths in the family. The narcissists don't care about anything that happens around them except how they appear. All the time. So for instance, in a funeral, what the narcissist is thinking about is that, and I've experienced this myself, is if someone else is crying in the funeral, the narcissist sees that as competition to them, because then they want to come across as the most empathetic. They want to come across as the person that is sorrowing the most. This is how crazy they are. So if someone else is crying in a funeral, they might lash out at that person for crying. They might tell the person that they're not really crying and stop crying those fake tears. You didn't really love the person. Because you see, in this kind of setting, it's only the narcissist that is allowed to cry and to have so-called feelings, to show so-called feelings that is utterly fake because they don't have them. But when they see other people have these real emotions, the narcissists get envious. And not only that, but they are also in a competition mode. So they think that they need to ramp up their crying, their fake crying, because then people will think that they are really good people. And it's just sick. So I just wanted to make this video and come with a couple of examples about how narcissist acts in certain situations and how this pathological need is just destroying everyone else around the narcissist. And this is what really narcissism is about at the very core. And I guess this is especially for narcissistic mothers. They have this kind of approach maybe more often than narcissistic dads. But anyway, yeah, I'm going to wrap this video up right now. So thank you for listening in and have a good day.